Well, hi. Yes, like Tim said, I am Pastor Kit's oldest son. Um, yeah, maybe, yeah. So we went to China, and I would definitely recommend if you're having your first child, don't do it in a country where your ability to speak their language is subpar. Golly, that was a lot of fun. And so, but we made it through there. The little guy came out great, and we spent a year after Warren was born, and then we came back, and so it was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that. But I was talking to my wife today, and she did mention to me, she's like, you know what? I forget, like, so much has changed since I was actually been around the church here and sewing in and just pouring into everybody. It's been like 10 years since I college and left and life and everything. So I did want to just kind of, before we hop into this, I did want to share a little bit about myself, my testimony, and just so you guys can, kind of see into who I am and share a little bit about me and Christy and everything like that. So, yeah. So as you guys know, Pastor Kit's son. So I grew up in the church. I knew everything there was to know about, all the stories. It was great. We were at that time at another church here locally, and yeah, it was really good. Want to be kind of careful, but it was really good. I don't really like this. There you go. It's so, but yeah, I grew up. I was in the church. I could tell you all the stories from David Goliath to everything, Jesus, and then the whole works. And I thought I knew it all. In my mind, I did know it all. I knew all those stories. I could tell you every one of them. And I was like, okay. And I see a lot of people, and I just thought it wasn't really real to me because I just saw all these people be just normal. I mean, like, okay, this thing's supposed to be transforming your lives, but I still see normals, I don't, how do I say it nicely? I don't really see Jesus living through them all the time, and I'm like, I don't get this thing. So I didn't really put much stock in it. I was just kind of like, okay, cool, I know all these stories, but I don't really see manifestation of God in these people's lives. I just see a lot of people who say one thing, then they gossip behind everybody else's back. I was like, okay, whatever. So growing up, I met in, that would have been first grade. First grade, I met this guy named Zach, and we kicked it off. We were best buddies. We went out right after that, met him. We were like, let's go play soccer, and the rest is history. We played soccer, and then we just became really good friends. Now, Zach came from a family that where his parents were divorced, and his stepdad and not stepdad and stepmom, obviously. His stepdad and mother, they were just, they're just doing life. They just, they're doing the best they can. And, man, Zach was hilarious because Zach would cuss all the time. And I thought it was hilarious because I cannot cuss. That privilege was removed from my life. And so, without major consequences. So, we would play video games, and he would just be cussing, and I was just laughing. I'm like, stick it to him, Zach. This is great. And my dad, because I know my parents can hear it. And so I just thought it was so funny. And so, yeah, me and Zach became really good friends. And he moved on to went to different schools and whatnot. And several years passed, and then high school came, and then I was able to go back out. At that time, we was out at Goddard, actually. And so my mom started teaching out there, and they got me out to Goddard. And so me and Zach were able to really pick back up in our friendship. And so the funny thing about it, I know Zach really well. And then I think I must have been like a freshman or sophomore, so like 14 or 15 or 16. I don't remember. Apologize. And all of a sudden, like, Zach was dating this girl, and I don't know what all happened, but all of a sudden, like, he was dating her, and I remember the relationship was going through some rocky stuff, and then I forgot what day, I don't remember what was going on, but Zach randomly asked me to drive him home. I'm really hoping I was 16, but I might have been 15. I don't remember. But either way, I drove him home. And at that time, it was really funny because I had the Metallica Black album, and I was rocking out to it. I was just, driving down. And this whole time, since we were kids, Zach has been going, he'll come to church with me and do different things with me. But this was the first time, I don't know how to explain, like, I know Zach. And this is the first time, and 7, 8 years, whatever it's been since the span we've known each other. All of a sudden he looks at me and he just goes, Cyle, why do you listen to this? And I was like, what? I mean, like, why not? It's cool. But when I turned my head to look at Zach, his eyes, I don't know, I cannot explain to you what it is or what about it, but his eyes. And I was just like, who is, I knew it was not the Zach I knew the day before. It was completely different. And I looked at his eyes said so much more. And he's like, because he was trying, the question he was really asking was, if you're a Christian, why are you listening to this? And I was like, my heart response was, what? Zach, you party, you do this, you do that, you've done so many things, and you're getting on to me you're questioning my beliefs because I'm listening to Metallica? Buddy, come on. If you're going to put a measuring stick to it, you're going to measure me and you. I'm doing pretty stinking good. But one thing I could not get past was that when I saw Zach, I knew about God. I knew all the stories. I could tell you all the stories, tell you all the reasons, tell you all the stuff. But Zach had an encounter. Something changed his life forever, and I saw that, and it drove me crazy because I knew it was like, it's real. Something about this thing is real. It's because he's not the same guy. I don't know what it is, but I can see it, and it's something that I've never seen before. But this all of a sudden it made everything real, and I was like, I got to go after it. And I was mad because I was like, well, I got called out, and I realized what's going on in my heart, how I was a fake. And so I started just going after the Bible, and I mean, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to grow this thing. How do I find what Zach had? How do I get this thing? And so I would just go down every day, read my Bible, I'll just go in there and pray. I mean, I was silly because I never really pursued. I didn't even know what I was pursuing. I just saw change, and I wanted it for myself. And so I'd be sitting there in my room and talk about cast this, you speak to that thing, cast this mountain to the sea, all that stuff. I'd be looking at my pair of sneakers and I'd be like, move, I'm just doing whatever it took. Because I was like, I don't know what he found, but I want it, and I will exert everything I have to get this thing because it was truth. It was good, and he had life in him. I saw life in him that I've never experienced for myself. And so, I mean, I was way out here just doing whatever I could. And I just remember, I don't know how much time. I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't know if it was months, weeks, whatever. I don't remember. I just would keep reading, and I keep pressing into it. And then I remember one day, I was just reading I forgot which gospel it was, and it's just about Jesus being crucified. And I just asked God, I was like, why, man? Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? And then it was so audible, but I knew because no one else in my house said anything, but I felt it resonating in my heart is because I love you, because I love you. And then from that moment on, my whole world was like, oh my gosh, he's real. Holy, my everything changed. Like, it wasn't just a story anymore. It was a reality that this invisible God is just, he loves me so stinking much that he would do anything for me. And that's my story. I mean, that's me in a nutshell. My friend Zach, yes, we still stay in contact. He lives in California now, and still a great man of God. But yeah, kind of do some fast forwarding up to where we're at now. Went to school. I met Christy at Oral Roberts. She rejected me, but then saw the error in her ways, and it repented. And it's actually, I promise, really funny because it's a funny story to me. So she told me, nah, I'm not really interested in a relationship. And I was like, oh man, I'm like, time's ticking. I'm almost graduating. All right, just move around. I'm gonna keep moving, And that's my thought. But I already told her, I already told her that I would take her to this ballet. What word was that? Good job. Don Quixote. I don't know anything about it. This is the ballet. And I was like, gosh darn it. I told her I'd take her to it. That's it's a lot of money to go do that thing. And I'm like, she's not even interested in me. Darn it. So, but I was like, oh, whatever. And so I pick her up, we go to it. And then I just started, to me, it's maybe just because I didn't have any pressure on me. So I just started making jokes, making fun of the guys, ballet guys, and just started making fun of everything and just having a lot of fun. And then I won her over some there. And I'm like, seriously? And after that, I was like, I can make fun of a lot of stuff. I'm just getting warmed up. So I was like, and so, but yeah, then the rest was history after that. And so we've been married. We were married for 3 years in Tulsa, and we were married for 3 years. She was a CPA accountant, and then she emailed me one day. We were talking about it, but about going to China, because we didn't have any kids at the time. And then she emailed me one day saying, hey, I got a teaching job in China. And I'm like, all right, we're going. All right, here we do this thing. And I went and talked to my boss, and he let me work remotely. And we stayed in China for 4 years, a little over 4 years, probably, and had our son. And he has the coolest birth certificate ever. I won't lie to you guys. Chinese birth certificates are pretty awesome. I'm like, it has a Great Wall of China on it. I'm like, that thing's awesome. Mine's super lame. Just says my name and information. I'm like, that's boring. And so, but yeah, then we came back, and so now we're, doing life here. So, but that's a little bit about me. And I usually like to tell people that we went to China because I wanted to pursue playing ping pong, but I didn't get an opportunity to really use that, so I'm going to jam it in there if I can. So, all right. So today, what we're talking about is who do you say I am? And this is my dad kind of asked me, like he kind of just brought this up to me, and I was like, sure, I'll give it a whirl and see how it goes. But you guys have your notes. Basically, I'm going to just kind of read through the first one, and what we're going to do is split into little groups here, and we're going to talk, basically we're just going to share with each other the different experiences that you've had in your relationship with God, where he's revealed to you the different, basically there's like seven redemptive names, and we're just going to share with each other in your guys' groups just how some testimonies you guys have of how God has revealed some of those to you, and just, share those kind of things. There's a lot of power in the testimony, and just here, like in our church, we're really trying to encourage people to together and share, because it's just such a faith builder, and I would like to hear them too. And so I'm going to go through it real fast, then we'll kind of get into groups, and then we're kind of go through the 3 points, and then I'll jabber some more and wrap this thing up. So, all right. I'm just going to start here on the first page in case you guys are wondering. All right. When Jesus came to Caesarea Philippi, he said to his disciples this question: What are the people saying about me, the Son of Man? Who do they believe I am? They answered, some are convinced you are John the Baptizer, and others say you are Elijah reincarnated, or Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. But you, who do you say I am? Jesus asked. Simon Peter spoke up and said, you are the anointed one, the Son of the living God. Jesus replied, you are favored and privileged, Simon, son of Jonah, for you didn't discover this on your own, but my Father in heaven has supernaturally revealed it to you. I give you the name Peter, a stone, and this truth of who I am will be the bedrock foundation on which I build my church. My glasses keep falling off. My legislative assembly, and the power of death will not be able to overpower it. I will give you the keys of heaven's kingdom's realm to forbid on earth that which is forbidden in heaven, and to release on earth that which is released in heaven. Then he told them, don't tell anybody that I'm the anointed one. So what we're going to do is basically we can get in groups, and Christ, the anointed one, the revelation that Peter got, he says, you are the anointed one, the Son of the living God. Now that name can kind of be synonymous with these different redemptive names of God. And so you'll see them here on the other page. I'm not going to read them because I will butcher them, but I just kind of put up to the sides that translate like kind of what they mean. So like you have Lord my shepherd, the Lord that sees and provides, the Lord that heals, Lord our righteousness, the Lord of peace, the Lord is present, and the Lord my canopy. And so, did anybody not grab a piece of paper? Cool. So let's just get in groups of like 3 to 4, and then basically we'll just be on point 1 right now, and just talk to each other and kind of share about some of the testimonies you guys have. All right? Break. I'll get to my stuff here in a little bit, but you can't pass up a testimony. I mean, nothing gets you builds up your faith, gets you excited about God, all that he is and what he has for you is so much bigger. And until we start sharing with each other, until we start getting involved in each other's lives and telling each other what's going on, how God's providing and how faithful he is, it is really hard to just try to, for yourself, just to try to muscle it up. Because we think at the point that your needs are satisfied, usually that's where you kind of put it into coast. I'm good. All right, I'm good. Until the next tragedy or some type of situation comes and shakes you and you start realizing, oh crud, I need to get moving again. Something, I've been slacking off, or however you want to look at it. You kind of put the relationship with God on, not really on hold, but just on autopilot, however you want to look at it. And so when we hear these testimonies, it kind of just, to me, it just builds up a faith like, oh yeah, wow, I never really thought about it like that, or I've never seen it like that. There's so much more to this thing, and it's so much more dynamic, this relationship with God, than I ever really think of. And it just encourages me to keep pressing to him. My next question here is just, are there any of these redemptive names that you have not experienced for yourself? And this is not, you don't have to share this. I just want to give you guys a couple minutes just to reflect, just to think, and just kind of be like, take note of them if those are there. And these would kind of be like areas that hopefully, like after you leave here, some areas you'll be able to go into your quiet time with and just kind of be like, God, I want to see you. I want to see you. You said you're like, a lot of people have a lot of stories about healer. He's the healer, but maybe you're kind of going through this process, and you're like, yeah, God, I want to know this. I want to see the revelation that they have. They know without a shadow of a doubt that you are this healer. I want to know this thing, and you can have this. You can have this thing to kind of go into the prayer closet for and just go after them. So just take a couple minutes. Not much time. Because we're wrapping up quick, and so. But yeah, just kind of think about it. Just take note of it, and then I'll chime in here in a second. How do I want to do this? All right. Before I start hitting this thing, for myself, I just really want to pray get my heart right real quick. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for these testimonies. Thank you so much for how faithful you are. Thank you that you are the shepherd and how you came after each one of us and you pulled us. Even when we left the pack, God, you pulled us back and your love has captured us. And you sing all the way back to home. You sing all the way back how happy you are that you found us. Thank you so much, God, that every word I say will not be my word. If it goes into their mind as knowledge, anybody's mind is knowledge. Cast it down, God. That everything that is of you be sunk right into their hearts, God, that they may see you and grow intimacy. Thank you so much, God. All right, I'm going to hop into this thing. Okay. Great points. Those are all great points. And I don't really know where everybody's at in your guys' relationship with God. Some of you are new. Some of you you're veterans. You've been doing this thing for so long. And usually the top ways that from my experience of being in church, people are going to say, hey, this is what you do. You read your Bible. You pray. Heck, you can fast. And what's another good one? You worship. Get some music on and sing. And those are all good methods. Don't get me wrong. Even, hey, declarations. Get yourself some declarations. Great methods. And the problem, I don't have anything against methods, okay? Nothing against a method. The only thing is that when we use a method without the intimacy, okay? It's when we pursue we just pursue the method to get the result, okay? And us I feel like that this is a lot of me is I believe the church has done it. We have not done a very good job at teaching this. We give a lot of Christians a lot of great methods of how to get what you want. You want healing? We've heard a lot of good testimonies about healing. And then what we'll do is say, hey, this is what I did. I fasted 30 days, and I did this, and I found some prayer shawl or something. I had a method, and I did this, and then I got healed. And some people grab that, and they say, okay, I'm just going to do this. Here I did. And then all of a sudden the results don't come, and now they're like, hey, what on earth is this about? I did it. I did X, I did Y, but I sure didn't get Z. So this thing's, we have this problem. And so it's usually when this type of problem comes up is when when it's not relationship, like it's not relationship focused anymore. And it's all getting my needs met. And so, this is huge. our media, everything gets feeding into need base. Like once Adam ate that fruit, or the needs based process really came in. I mean, so like devil took over. All of us are need based. Look on TV. Look at relationships. It's not about love. It's about you meeting my needs, I meeting your needs, and we just got a partnership on satisfying each other. Until you don't do it, I'm out of here. And so that's not what this thing's about. I mean, the beauty of this whole thing, and I'm going to get back into who you say I am here in a second, is I just really want to hit this point with the methods. Every method is fine. It's the heart you take into it. For me, is when I saw my best friend, I was like, something's different, and I want it. And I sold out everything. I would sell anything. I gave up all my free time, whatever it meant. I had to get what he had, and I would go after it no matter what. And it is this, for me, it's just, that's why to me, I'm like, yeah, Tim says I'm raw heart. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm thinking, because it was passion. It was passion that he used my passion to slam me in the face with his love. And so I'm like, holy moly, I'm running for this thing. And now I've been doing this Christian thing, since I was 15 years old. I don't want to do the math for you guys. For quite a while. And the passion is only going up. The passion only increases. Jesus is so crazy about people. Jesus says, God is so crazy about you. He's like sitting in the hot rod. He doesn't hold back the throttle. He says, you better strap yourself in because I love them and I'm going full blast. You better just strap on. And he doesn't just slow down in his pursuit of his children. He accelerates. He goes after him. He says, oh, they might have not found me. They might not recognize me in this way, but I'm going to come at them 5 other ways. I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to keep coming because I'm so crazy about them. And so it's like, how is it, I mean, for me, it's like, how is it when I start seeing this, how you are in this way, your pursuit of me, how can I not respond in just love? Take any method you want. Decorations. Make it personal. This whole thing is relationship. It's how do you take these processes, these methods, and make them personal into your life? And so for me, like when I read my Bible, and I'm going to just kind of give you an example of how I do it. I'm very auditorial, so I speak a lot, I talk a lot, and I say a lot of dumb things, but then that's how that's how I grow, though. That's how God helps me out in this thing. So I'll be straight with you guys. I just randomly flip to a Psalms. And so this is how I would do it. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. So just, if it fails, you guys will laugh. It'll be fun. Listen to me, Lord. Hear the passionate prayers of this honest man. Thank you so much, God, that you have made me honest. That before I knew you, my heart was so not honest. But you came and you transformed my heart. And you transformed everything about me. And then I can look into your eyes and say, you have made me honest. That today I can stand here and know that what you've done in my heart is the most honest thing. And that it's changed my life forever. In my piercing cries for justice, my cause is just, and my needs is real. I've done what's right, and my lips speak truth. Oh, thank you so much, God, that the truth of who you are will never, ever leave my lips. That the truth of what you've done in my life, even though I haven't seen it manifest right in this moment, but the truth is that you are coming, and you've never stopped coming for me, and you're here now, and you're in my life, and I'm going to see this thing, and I'm going to see you exalted in this situation, in my heart, in every part, and I'm going to have a testimony that says how good you are. You see what I'm saying? I mean, like, I want this thing to get here. You get a lot of us, we know so much about, we'll take the latest quote from Bill Johnson, my dad, whatever. We'll take these quotes and we say, oh, cool, that's a good nugget. And we'll hold it and we put it in we take that person's revelation and we put it into our like, I'm going to use David and Goliath here. We put it into our pouch, that stone, that rock of revelation, and we put it into our pouch. Okay? And so now we go through life and we're swinging that revelation. But the thing is David went and he grabbed his revelation. David grabbed his revelation and he put it in his packet. To me, it's like, I want you to, use what you can from these people. I'm not knocking them. They have great insight. I'm not taking away from what they are. I'm just saying, when you start elevating their words over what God wants to speak into your hearts right now, the revelation that he has for you in life is more important than having the latest thought in the Christianese realm. And that's when you get those nuggets and you put those in your sling. And now you have an intimacy. Now it's like, no, this is a truth that I'm flinging. This is not somebody else's reality. This is my reality. And I'm going to see God do what he does best. And that's slay my dragon. Or if a dragon, that's funny. Giant. And so, but all right. I'm going to go off on don't mean to go off on tangents. But I want you guys to see something different that God really just put on my heart. I want you to, I'm pretty raw, and I want you to see when I get into my quiet time with God, I want you to see it. I want you guys to be challenged. I just want you to see something. If it's something, maybe you guys, that's how you are or whatever, but I just want you to see something different. All right, let's go. So I want to slip back over to the message. Jesus says, Peter, you are favored because it was God that revealed it to you. All right. How do I take it there, God? The funny thing about it, I like looking at Peter's life. Because here you have, in this chapter, we're on Matthew chapter 16. So right here, let me get my Bible open. Right here you have Peter. He comes out. I mean, he gets praise from Jesus, right? He gets that. He gets the acknowledgement. He gets everything, and he gets to see that. Oh yeah, I hit a home run. I didn't even know I hit a home run, but I hit a home run, and Jesus, really gives them praise. And then the fun thing about it, you go to the next chapter, not too much farther. Here Jesus tells them about that he's going to die, get risen, and here Peter goes right back to him and confronts him and says, "Whoa, ho, ho, buddy, no, you're not. That's not right." And then he gets corrected by God, by Jesus. Says, "No, get behind me, Satan." All right, he gets corrected, and then you jump not more than 10 verses forward. Jesus asks Peter to go onto the mountain transfiguration, and Peter gets a revelation. All right, of who Jesus really is. He sees the manifestation of the revelation that he had back here. The point is this. Peter's definitely not perfect. And in this relationship process that we are in, the point is just to pursue Jesus. You are going to mess up. But God is the best father. He will always keep you on the straight and narrow. My faith in my relationship with God and my faith in life in this thing is not based upon how well I can read the Bible, how many people I get saved, or how many people that I am used to that I can touch and impact. It is 100% based upon him, and he has always shown himself so faithful to correct me. He is such a good father. It's not a lot of us. I think a lot of Christians will get focused oh crud, I see you might. You look at yourself and you're like, oh dear, I keep doing this. I keep getting angry, or I keep getting frustrated with stuff. My boss keeps doing this to me, and then you look at yourself, compare yourself to Jesus, and you're like, man, if I could just figure this out, if I could just get this, man, I'd be doing good. And it's so much about you, and not about the fact that Jesus just is so crazy about you. For me, when it happened to me, because I started noticing it, I'm like, God, I have pride. I have this pride. I don't know how to get rid of this thing. And Jesus said, and God's like, it's okay. I got the best answer. My love. My love will crush your pride. My love will destroy your pride. My love is so big that I don't look at you and say, oh no, you're getting too cocky, so good luck. And departs, he says, no, I'm just going to pour my love so much more in the situation. I'm going to soften your heart so that the only thing that comes out of me is my love. And that's to me is it's such an intimate relationship that we have here. And then, oh boy, I just forgot where I was going with that, but it's okay. But all to say is it's a process. Even though I might have had this issue, he doesn't hold back. I keep pursuing Jesus. He keeps molding. He is the potter. He is the master gardener. I thought this was kind of a funny one. I was in my quiet time one time, and I was just looking at stuff, and I was like, man, God, I look at my life, and I'm like, you've got a lot of work to do here, because I got a lot of issues, or things that I would want to say that are problems that are holding me back from more of him. And he's like, what he whispered in my heart was this. He's like, Kyle, I'm the master gardener. What you got there is awesome fertilizer. You just bring that poo, bring it right on over here, bring it into me, and I will crush it. I will bury it into the soil, and I'll bury it on top of so much of my love, and then I'll plant my seed inside of it, and then I will grow a new creation out of it. Because it's like Christianity, we get so focused on like the blessing side of it that we miss the key of it all, which is transformation. Transformation is the key point of this whole Christianity. Blessings are a byproduct, and they are truth. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but a lot of people get so focused on blessing. I do this thing and I get healed. Sweet, I'm in. And they miss the transformation. It's the fact that I look at the man of God. I look at Jesus, and he's sitting here, and he's getting spit in the face, and he's getting hung on a cross. He still says up there, he looks at everyone and says, forgive them. That is a man that I want to be. I'm like, how can he do that? I look at me, and I'm like, I can't. I was like, God, where I'm at right now, I don't have an ounce of forgiveness to pass on to anybody, but you can do it. And that's where he says, like, here, give me your heart. Press into me, and I will take your heart. I am the master potter. I will just put my love, and I'll put my love right on top of it, and I will mold it. And my hands will mold it until you mold your heart into who I am. And that to me is like, that's the beauty of this whole thing. It's this relationship. So as you're going through this stuff, there's probably areas where you're like, man, God, I want to understand you more. I want to see who you are. You say you're the healer, but I want to know that. I want that to be my reality. I don't want that to be a thing I'm reaching out for. A lot of us would go into it and we treat it like a light switch. Faith like a light switch. It's like, okay, something's coming up. So I'm flipping my faith on. I'm going to get my declarations. I'm going to pray. And I said it. I'm doing it. And there's nothing, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's just where you're at, and Jesus will meet you where you're at and raise you up, okay? It's just that if that's your lifestyle, that's where kind of like you'll be tested. And if your house burns, what's left is what you're going to see exactly where your faith is at. And so, it's in the Bible. I don't remember what part, though. But but basically everybody's going to get tested. You're going to build yourself with straw and different other materials, but life is going to test you, and you're going to see what you're really made of. If the faith is going to be there or it's not going to be there. And so, but all I was saying is these truths are probably something you might want. And it's the relationship of pursuing God and just being like, God, you just love me. Thank you so much that you're going to transform my heart into these things. You're revealing it. Because like for me, I'll give you guys a personal testimony. My ankle's been hurting me I get to wrap up soon. A couple minutes. My ankle's been hurting me for a while. A couple months. Okay. I don't know why. I pray for it. I do the stuff. But yet it's still here. And now you can either take it as, I can either take the approach of God is sovereign, meaning, okay, God, you got this. I'm just going to let it be. Or I can take the approach of, God, you're so much bigger than this. I don't understand it. I don't understand the situation. I don't understand why it's not getting healed when I talk to it and I command it to be healed. But God, you're going to give it to me. You're going to show me. This is the opportunity for me to keep pressing into you and for me to get to understand more of who you are and your love for me. And so I'm going to just keep pressing into it. I'm going to go in my quiet time. I'm going to get this bad boy, the word. That's a bad boy. And then I'm going to soak into it, and I'm going to see it. It's just a matter of time. I don't understand why things are the way they are, but I can guarantee you it is a matter of time before the revelation gets into my heart. And man, when that gets there, I might get invited back to speak again. But no, it's going to be pouring out because the truth of it is going to be in my heart, and I'm going to pray it into everybody. And so, to me, it's like, who do you say I am? I know. Oh man. Well, it is 8. You don't mind. But I do want to respect you guys' time. I'm like, holy cow, I didn't think it was going to go that fast. Because really, if you look at my notes, I didn't really write any. So I was like, man, God, you're good. So, but yeah, I guess to just wrap it up, I mean, Jesus loves you. I really just mean, like, the whole point of this whole evening is just to get you guys hungry to go home and get in the Word. Not just I can tell you so many people that have spent their whole life reading the Bible, yet the fruit of the Spirit, this relationship with God, is absent. I don't want you, don't grab a method. Go after the heart of God. Believe that there's something more than that. Those little whispers are there. You might just grab them and watch what he does with them. And it's going to be a process. But very soon, Jesus is going to invite you onto the Mount of Transfiguration, and he's going to reveal who he is, and you're going to be marked for life in all these different areas. And so, with that, I'll close. Timmy, you got anything? I'm done. I'm just going to wrap. If I go, I keep going all night probably. So.